Welcome to my channel if you're new to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you're not new to my channel. My name's Anna, and today I'm filming for you guys Boxycharm! This box looks bigger than usual, so I'm excited to get right into it. So if you don't know what Boxycharm is a monthly subscription box that comes with 4 to 5 full-size beauty, hair, and skincare related, and it's valued, I believe, up to $125. Inside the box, it is $25 a month. This month, the box is a little bit larger because there's a larger size item that I chose as my choice. For Boxycharm, you are allowed to have one choice item. These were the 3 choices of the month. You could either pick a eye cream, a skincare item, or a palette. Ended up choosing, well, you'll see that in a minute because it's a surprise. What I'm going to do is unbox the items and then show you what I got and then try on the items. You don't have to stick around for the try-on portion. But before we start watching, I want you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and if you get this box, let me know what you get because I'm really interested in knowing. So let's open up this box and get right into it. So I look dead right now because I am just woken up like a couple hours ago. Haven't done my makeup yet because I wanted to film this video, and since I do the try-on portion, I knew I had to be barefaced. So the first item I see in the box, well, usually there's a card in here. Okay, it doesn't look like there's a card in the box this month, which is super weird because usually you have a card that describes the theme. I know the theme is a door because I have the premium box. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. But this time there's no card in the box. So the first item I see is the Evio Skin Aurora Refreshing Cleanser Hemp Wipes. These look super cool. I don't have any makeup wipes right now that have hemp in it, so it's interesting to see something different. I don't have the description on it. I know that the price of these is $10 because someone else unboxed it and mentioned that it was a $10 item, but I wish I had the card in here to tell you guys more of the prices. The next item I see is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Illuminator in Gilded Honey. So it is this golden highlighter, and the packaging is a little cheap, but it is that kind of color. It's really pretty. I'll swatch it when I'm trying it on my face, but it looks like a really pretty color, and I'm super excited for this. The next item in the box is something that I've seen in Ipsy boxes. I think I've seen it in a Boxycharm box before, but I'm probably wrong. It is the Ciate Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. So if you don't like coconut, this is probably not the setting powder for you. I'm excited to try this though because I always like trying new setting powders, especially since the one I use is the Laura Mercier one. And it's slightly expensive, so you always want to try something new and different. The next item in the box is actually something I really wanted because I saw a spoiler on accident that you could either get the Luxie Complete Sponge Set or the Olimar Brush Set. And I really wanted some new sponges to try and play with, so I'm excited to have these ones because they're a little bit different. And it comes all packaged up. Let's see how they feel. I do like the packaging of this because you can store them and keep it on your desk, and it isn't like something ugly to have on your desk. They're a little bit thicker than the Beauty Blenders, which is my go-to sponge. But I like the shape of this one, and I know I could do my under eyes with this. Also have this one, which is, I'm assuming, a bake and contour sponge. And then lastly, they have this little mini sponge, which I'm assuming could be used for either concealer or foundation, depending on what you like. They're really soft though, and it kind of feels like a memory foam sort of sponge. Last item in the box is my choice item. So as you can see, it is the Iconic London palette, and the packaging is beautiful. Now, I want to speak about Boxycharm for a minute. I mentioned this slightly in my premium Boxycharm box, but it has been recently found out that Boxycharm has collaborated with brands and they're not the items that you buy in the store. So for example, this palette in Morphe stores and Ulta is valued at $62. By the way, these are valued at $40. It's valued at $62, but it's made in Italy and with different ingredients. Now I understand that you can't always have the expensive ingredients, but don't give us a cheaper item, in my opinion. It also came out recently that Boxycharm partnered with a brand that bought a product from AliExpress for $1 and then said the value of it was $100. That was the Facacia Skin Moisturizer. I recommend not anyone use that until that brand is more clear. they say they're cruelty-free, but they don't have a cruelty-free approval from, I believe it's PETA or FDA. So I believe that we need to be a little more vocal with Boxycharm and state that this stuff isn't okay. So purchasing, shouldn't be valued at $62 because it's not made in Italy. The ingredients are not the exact same thing. So the quality of this is much different than the quality that you buy at a Morphe store, at an Ulta, or I don't believe they're in Sephora, but in any of those stores, or even from their website themselves. So I think a lot of people need to check the items and check what Boxycharm is doing, because I don't like this. It's not that they're lying, it's they're lying by omission, because they're not stating this information. They're not telling us that hey, this isn't the same quality as the other one, but you're still getting an iconic London brand. But let's get back to the eyeshadow. It's the Day to Slay eyeshadow palette. Surprisingly, also on here, it has a warning that says, if product gets into eyes, rinse well with water immediately. So that's a little worrisome. Inside the palette, it has 20 shades, and it's a beautiful neutral palette. The mirror is really large, and it has a sticker on it, so I'm impressed with the quality. It doesn't feel like cheap quality, don't get me wrong. I just don't like this whole... Hi guys, it's Editing Anna, and I have a little update on this whole situation. So it recently came out that Iconic London is no longer producing these palettes in Italy, but rather they are producing them in China in order to become, I believe, cruelty-free. However, I still believe it's a little shady that this information only came out after people found out the information. I still stand by the statement that I don't think it's valued at $62 because it's no longer made in Italy, and labor in China is much cheaper, so I believe the palette should be cheaper as well. I also need to add that the moisturizer that is in the premium box, so not in this box, is still very shady, and I still recommend no one use it. However, those are my two updates on the palette. It is still authentic, and it's still an Iconic London palette. It's just not the same formula that it used to be. But that is the palette. Now, if you're done with watching my unboxing, I'm sorry, I don't know what variation this box is. Usually I can share that. But if you don't want to stick around for the try-on portion, that's totally okay. Subscribe to my channel, as I said earlier. Like and comment down below. And I have other social media. Go check me out on TikToks, Instagram, Twitter, Depop. All really cool social media. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's get on to the try-on portion. So to start off, I did get this in the Boxy add-ons for the month of January, and I never tried them on, so I want to show you guys what they are. Firstly, I have the Cover FX, is the blurring primer. It is in, I didn't know it's skin tone color. Okay, it does like die down. It feels like a silicone primer. It really does feel like the Smashbox FX primer, or the Smashbox primer, the blurring primer, I think as well. But it does really blur out my pores, and I do like that. So I'm not upset with this, and a little does go a long way, because the stuff I squeezed on my face covered where I put it. So that's the first thing. Then the next thing, this was actually a choice item. I forgot to mention this. It is the Becca Ultimate 24-Hour Coverage Foundation. And to try this, I'm going to try one of the sponges, which I forgot to wet. So I'm going to wet the middle one for my face because it is the shape that I use most on my face. Surprisingly, when I wet this sponge, it did expand in size. For a comparison, here is the dry sponge, and this is the sponge when it's wet. They're not the same exact sponge, but they were similar in size before. And also, when you run this under the sink, it turns a darker gray, which is super cool. I know that's like science or whatever, but I liked how it did that. I have the shade Vanilla. Okay, I'm really hoping this isn't too light for my skin tone, because it might be. So I watched Kathleen Light's Boxycharm review, and she also received the sponges in her box. So I knew that that was one of the options before I watched her video, and I wanted to see what she thought about the sponges because I was hoping to get the sponges. And at first she didn't like them because she likes more of a porous sponge. So more like a Beauty Blender or a Real Techniques sponge. But she actually enjoyed this sponge, and now that I'm using it, I'm enjoying it as well because it isn't super hard when you wet it, and it becomes much softer. And I also like see that it does like full coverage sponge it. I'm gonna use the mirror in the Iconic London palette because I can't see. So it's not a perfect blending sponge in my opinion. As you can kind of tell, I have to go over areas that I didn't usually go over. I don't know if it would be different with my normal foundation, as this is a new foundation to me and I have not tried it yet. I can tell that this foundation is sort of full coverage, but it's not as dry as my Double Wear foundation by Estee Lauder. It is more of a lighter foundation, which I kind of enjoy if it does full coverage. It is a little patchy though. I can see that it grabs onto weird spots, but that also could be the primer as I'm trying on multiple things right now. I do have a weird smell, and I feel as though when I go over multiple spots, that it's taking away some of the foundation I already had on. I do like how large this sponge is when you wet it. The Beauty Blender is slightly smaller, but I like having something larger to cover my face much more. So I'm not super impressed with the foundation. I don't hate it. It might be a little light for my skin tone, but I can always bronze it up after. It's not the worst foundation in the world, but it's not my favorite. I definitely like more of the full coverage from Estee Lauder, which you can't really see until I zoom in a little bit, but see how it doesn't fully cover my redness, and then on my nose it's doing a weird thing. So I'm not super happy about it, but I'm not. So now I'm gonna put some concealer on my face, and I'm gonna use the sponge to see how it does with concealer. I like how that blended out my concealer. But again, it's doing a weird grabby thing where it's taking away some of the foundation that's underneath. Just for a comparison, that's what it looks like when it's wet in the packaging. So now I'm going to put on powder on top of this because I need to set my face a little bit. So I'm gonna try the Everyday Vacay Ciate London powder. Packaging looks like this. It has a little bow on front, it's a little mirrored top, and it does come with the sticky tape on the inside of the, not gonna lie, that was super difficult to open. But let's try this powder. It is very white, so I'm assuming it has a little bit of kickback. Grab the powder brush and grab some eyeshadow brushes as well. So let's try out this powder. So, oh, it really smells like coconut. And if you have allergies, like coconut allergies or scent allergies, it's not amazing for skincare. I do enjoy how that set the foundation, however, and my concealer. I wonder how long wearing it is, or I enjoy that powder. The next item I also got in the Boxycharm, other item I got in the Boxycharm add-on was the Pure Midnight Masquerade face palette. I assumed that these 4 shades, one was blush, one was powder, one was under eye concealer, and one was highlighter. However, now that I'm looking at it, most of them are highlighters, so I'm not going to be using this today, and I will be using the Laura Geller and other bronzes and powders instead. However, I will try this in another video, maybe in a video where I don't get an eyeshadow palette and would like to do a try on. I'm gonna use my typical H&M bronzer that has had its life sucked out of it, but I die for this bronzer. For my blush, I will be using my Hourglass blush that I received in Boxy Premium. I absolutely love this blush. It is light and soft, and it is perfect for a natural day sort of look. For highlighter, I will be using the Laura Geller highlighter in Gilded Honey, which we received in this box. So I'm going to swatch it on my thumb first, kind of do a Jeffree Star sort of swatch on my thumb. And that looks super pretty. I love gold highlighters. I use them all the time. It's not blinding. It's not and then a little bit on my nose and on my lip. I enjoy that though. For a natural day, sort of going for the natural day look, I'm assuming now. Now we're gonna move into the big ticket item, the Iconic London eyeshadow palette, and then we'll finish off the look. When I test out eyeshadow, I use different kinds of brushes, high end and low end. I have a Lexi brush, a Moda brush, and a AOA brush. I think I'm gonna go for more of a nude look, so I'm gonna go in the nude, which is the top left eyeshadow color. Notice some of my highlighter went up too far. It is very bright when looking at it. It's more of a chunky glitter. Then I'm going to go into the shade Ultimate Tan, which is this one right here, and put it in my outer crease. As mentioned by Kathleen Lights, this eyeshadow palette is very much for the everyday looks. However, I don't see myself traveling with this palette because it is so large and not chunky, but sort of thick that you can't travel with this. You can't use this every day on a daily basis. Lastly, I'm going to go into the shade Deep Soul, which is a dark brown, and put that in my outer corner. It is slightly patchy, not super patchy, but a little patchy and definitely needs build up. Then I bring it to the under eyes so that it blends in with my eye shape. I do think this shade is slightly patchy on my eyes. This is the Deep Soul shade. However, the other shades perform well. I wonder how different this performs from the palettes that are sold in all of the retail stores or from their website. And now I'm going to go into the shade Champagne Chic. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Champagne Chic, and put this all over my eyes. I think I need a darker shade. Change of plans. I'm gonna go into the shade 24K Gold, which is a shimmer gold shade, and put that. So it doesn't perform well with the brush. This is my Moda brush, so it's my high-end brush. I'm gonna go in with my fingers and go into the shade 24K Gold. They're super creamy, and I like the shimmer shades a lot. I just think they perform always much better when you use your finger. Go back into the shade Taupe de Taupe. I didn't go into that shade, but I'm gonna go into that shade and see if that can make my outer corner a little better. Outer crease a little better. That looks slightly better, so up close, this is sort of what these shades look like. And now in the inner corner, I'm going into Champagne Chic because it is sort of a lighter inner corner sort of color. And that's what it looks like finished. So I would put mascara on top of this and sort of see how it would look all together. However, it's slightly disappointing that this palette isn't what it says to be. Oh, I have an exciting product. I have the Dose of Colors Date Night red lipstick, and I heard reviews about this and I was super excited when it was in the add-ons. I fell in love with Boxycharm's, Dose of Colors lipsticks, and I'm excited to have another one. Now, ignore my sweater. That color is beautiful. However, I can't go to class like this, so what I'm gonna do is try one of the wipes and take off this lipstick. Slightly a little Miranda Singh when taking that lipstick off. However, okay, so I don't like these wipes. I will probably be giving these away just to my family or to my roommate just because it got everything everywhere, and it did take off the red lipstick, but I don't like how it feels after I take that off. So that's slightly disappointing. However, all the items in the box are kind of a hit. So my favorite item would have to be the sponges. The sponges were my favorite item. The Ciate London powder was a surprising item to me. Their big hit was the Cover FX primer and the Becca foundation, which I received in add-ons. This is definitely my favorite thing. I really like the red lipstick. It is a beautiful color. It works really well on the lips, and I actually think I'm gonna go put this back on because I'm super interested in this. However, that was my Boxycharm, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, like and comment down below, subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell, and stay tuned for more uploads because I'm trying to upload more daily. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching.